Welcome to the Civic Hub. The Civic Hub is a shared community space for grassroots and small nonprofit organizations working to make lives better for everyone in Waterloo Region. Partner organizations come from a range of fields: environmental justice, democratic reform, arts and culture, anti-poverty, anti-racism, human rights, ethno-cultural and newcomer support, technology, peace and nonviolence, spirituality, and well-being. On the show, we welcome one of our partners to the Civic Hub. Today on Welcome to the Civic Hub, we welcome Mauleek from Concerned People on Drug Use. Mauleek, welcome to the Civic Hub.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Concerned People for Drug Use. I haven't heard of that group before. Something new?
Yeah, fairly new. We're a group of concerned people that are volunteers that try to take action towards bettering the community. We are concerned about the poisonings in our society, in our neighborhoods, and we know of a lot of deaths and issues with the drug supply, and we want people to be safe, and we are taking action towards achieving that goal.
Okay. Is this in answer to the government closing the CTS, the consumption and treatment sites?
In a way, yes, because that was a really big blow to the people that used the service. I actually also used to work at the CTS, and the clients there were very upset, and I mean there have been multiple deaths after the fact, after the CTS has closed in the region. I also work as part of this this organization that helps with street outreach. It's called Sanguine, and one of our peers have also found people passed away due to an overdose on the street.
I mean, all the evidence was in favor of the CTS, the consumption and treatment sites. Government's just not following, an evidence-based policy here.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And that's frustrating, and that's the real sentiment in the frontline worker community. Everyone's always just raging.
Yeah.
Everyone's just everything sucks. Everything. Well, why is it like this? Yeah. Make it change, make it stop.
They've got something new in place of the CTS. Can't quite remember what the acronym is or exactly what it's meant to do, but it's no longer at the site on Duke Street where it was before, is it?
Correct, yes. I believe it's called the Heart Hub, and from my understanding of it is that it is very abstinence-based.
Abstinence, like don't use it at all.
Yes.
We're not helping you with consumption and treatment, just telling you not to do it.
Yes. And the sad part of it was the service didn't even start till much after the CTS was closed. So there was a gap in service provision, and also the fact that the same service is not available anymore, and a very small subset of that service, a very, very tiny subset of that service is what is offered.
I'm imagining counseling.
Yes, but also comes with it a whole slew of other penalizing bylaws and ways to incarcerate people and fine people with up to I believe it was $6,000 or something dollars. Which is actually funny, because I realize people that are on OW or ODSP, I think what they make yearly is under that amount.
Really?
So it's just Yeah.
And I imagine that a lot of people are just avoiding those heart hubs altogether because of the possibility of being penalized, being incarcerated for the treatment that they're seeking.
That's right. Yeah. So, the penalization would be if they were caught using or whatever, right? But yeah, and that also goes with that happening in public, and so that translates more towards also the encampments, and with the region trying to evict encampments, going against the Supreme Court's decision about not letting them go unless there's a place for them to go.
Right, and there is no place for them to go. There's no homes, there's no shelters,
Yeah.
And there's no longer a consumption and treatment site.
Exactly, and then this hard hub space does not offer enough beds or spaces either. So, so like, where is a person to go?
So in spite of the fact that people aren't coming there, there's still a waiting list because you just don't have the capacity.
That's right. Like the housing waiting lists in this region are over 6 to 7, or I think at some point I've also heard 11 years long. I'm very wrong. I could be wrong about that. So please take that with a grain of salt.
I've heard all the different numbers.
Yes.
People who are visibly unsheltered, people who are the hidden homeless, people doing the couch surfing, people living back with their parents because, coming out of university, can't afford a home.
Yeah.
So, and it's all related. I mean, I can see that with, that desperation, people may turn to drug use just to relieve the stress of the lives that they have to live.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, I am a user. I used to be homeless in this community. I have used substances in this community. It's been difficult. And like, yes, drugs are a good escape from your reality when your reality is just horrible. When it feels like the whole world's against you. When you're just in a mode of survival. Just like. You're looking for the next meal. You don't know if you're gonna have a safe place to stay the night. If your belongings are gonna be there, when you go back, it's not a fun state to be in.
Sometimes it's easier to find drugs than it is to find food.
Absolutely, yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna know what's in the drugs.
Right.
Because that's again, another.
You mentioned poisonings.
Yes.
So you're getting drugs from an unreputable supplier.
Exactly. So
who knows what's in there? Gravel, stones, worse.
Like people can get alcohol from the LCPO that's regulated. People can get caffeine from like a grocery store, nicotine from cigarettes from a store that's all regulated.
Yeah.
So it's still okay. I know it's not safe, but it's
there's an assurance of quality in the substance, and you don't get that with the drugs that are just completely off the table altogether. Ones that are criminalized for possession, for selling and buying. So.
Exactly, and these drugs have come as a result of mostly like pharmaceutical companies, and like sure the latest drug these days nowadays, the fentanyl is. I guess I've heard apparently it's called the garbage drug because give me a sec. It really opens up all your receptors for pleasure, but then it's so bad for your body it cannot maintain that state.
Right.
So you keep wanting more, and then. It gets to a point where you need enough, you take enough that sometimes you could overdose, and of course, sometimes you're looking for the fentanyl, and then there's other things in there that cause severe skin rashes, that cause your breathing to slow down, that cause straight up death.
Right.
It's
because it's not the fentanyl that's causing these effects; it's whatever
it's the other stuff
that's in there.
Is in there.
Who knows what that might be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's benzos, and then there's a whole bunch of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does concerned people on drug use provide in the way of assistance?
We are a volunteer-based group. The only the few things that we've done is we've tried to raise more awareness about. So right before like the CTS was closing, we tried to raise awareness about that at the market but yeah,
Is it Kitchener Market?
at the Kitchener Market,
Yeah.
but we were asked to leave because they're not okay with us with people politicizing or like doing things inside the market, but we were able to.
Politicizing saving lives.
Yeah, but we were able to do some naloxone trainings on like the sidewalk outside the
good,
market.
good.
So we've done some of that. We've also done a little group to meet in the park, and what the idea was just to get people's thoughts about the loss and what they are feeling post the closure of the CTS. And the idea was to gather all of these thoughts, and we aim and to find more people and to get more of those voices heard. And a co-worker and myself, we received funding from the region to actually do this, to gather these voices. So that one event that we did in the park was our first little outreach into the community, but we hope to do more. We hope to hear from more people that are affected due to the closure of the CTS. And we hope to pass on that information in a report, but as well as to other groups that are trying to raise awareness through other forms of art, such as theater or...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just proselytizing with flyers and stuff. You're actually putting on presentations and performances.
True. That's the hope. That's the dream. Yeah.
That's a really good way of getting the word out.
Yeah. I feel like a picture speaks 1,000 words or whatever, right? And then video or like a play is way more immersive. So
Exactly. You're not the only group advocating for treatment and the decriminalization of drug use.
Oh, absolutely not. There's lots of people that want this, that need this, and like we are all concerned. And honestly, like all these groups, we pretty much work with each other at some capacity. Right. In some capacity, like so we're very familiar with each other's work. So yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of the region of Waterloo, the Public Health Department.
Oh, okay.
Is that an organization, the Public Health Department, that's working towards the same goals?
I would think so. I would hope so. So the harm reduction sector is run by public health. But that being said, I believe this whole issue gets lost in the politicizing of things. So I don't think public health has a say in keeping the CTS open. Right. Or has a say in how the Heart Hub does things or things like that. So that's where I find the environment here is getting toxic. It's because of the lack of what's the word? Like I guess commitment or just taking accountability, and the fact that the people that are accountable aren't being accountable, and the people that are just trying to work with what's left over are underfunded, undersourced, and are working with shackles. So how is one to function, right?
I think public health is largely a provincial jurisdiction.
I see.
And I have a feeling that the current provincial government isn't very much in favor of providing assistance, providing the help, providing the consumption and treatment sites, obviously.
That's right, yes.
Although we have a pretty good provincial MPP in Kitchener, Ashlyn Clancy.
That's right,
Have you approached Ashlyn about coming to some of your events?
I believe Ashlyn is a supporter of our cause. I would think so. But I don't think we've invited Ashlyn to one of our events. But I'm sure if something comes up in the future, they would be someone that we would invite. Yeah.
At the federal level, we've lost the Green MP, Mike Morris.
That's correct. Yes.
And we have a Conservative MP in place now. So my guess is that you're not going to see much help from the federal representative in Kitchener at this point.
I see. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the real issue, right? Like because of this multi-tier system, a lot of important issues get swept under the rug.
So the region will say, we can't do anything about the policy. That's at the provincial level, and the provincial people say, well, It's a municipal issue. You need to get people away from those encampments. So it's all finger pointing and blame casting.
Yeah, yeah, and the common people get hurt, and the common people are vindicated and penalized and hurt. Yeah, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate.
It is. How'd you get involved?
So yes, long story. I actually came to Canada about in the year 2013 as an international student.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the tech sector. I studied. My education from India was not regarded, so I had to take a bachelor's again.
Oh.
Then I worked, did good work, but I was unfairly treated at a workplace. Improperly fired. And I went to a lawyer. The lawyer did not treat me very well. Lawyer was, I'm not going to say the word, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, I got a runaround. Things went from bad to worse. I ended up on the street. I was evicted. I ended up on the street. I was on the streets for 2 years. I lived in the shelter on and off. But I was kind enough that a friend of mine let me stay in their backyard for a little bit. Well, they had a nice shed built up in their back, a little tiny home, and they let me stay there rent-free for a little bit to let me get back on my feet. It was about like 5 or 6 months. I'm greatly appreciative of them, and I just kept working, try to put one foot ahead of the other, and. So then, eventually, I actually started working as an outreach worker with the WINS program. So the WINS program goes out in the community, clearing harm reduction paraphernalia, so like needles, pipes, glassware.
Providing deposit places and...
So they'll also pick up any like improperly disposed paraphernalia, but also providing like outreach and snacks and clean supplies. Also, like water on hot days, and like on cold days, we have like emergency blankets, socks, and so we're loaded with stuff. But also Narcan, obviously Narcan.
Narcan is.
Naloxone. It's the.
It's the antidote.
It's the antidote to an opioid overdose. It only works on an opioid overdose, but it does work.
Okay.
If it's an opioid overdose, if caught in time.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so it seems like mutual aid, the support of friends and family and people not part of official agencies, that kind of aid is probably the thing that helped you the most.
That's right. But getting back to how I got involved, I saw, because I was living through it, I saw how bad the things were. And at the time, it just seemed like the right thing to do. I found some work in that field. So I was like, okay, you know what, it seemed easy at the time to start getting into it. One thing led to another, and then I worked there. I also ended up working at the CTS. I also work at the LUG. The LUG is the Lived Expertise Working Group. We sit with the City of Kitchener and their planning department. Also talk a little bit in terms of the region in some capacity, trying to talk to them, tell them that about all these things that we're talking about, the same things we discussed there.
And hopefully with people who can actually enact some policy to make a difference.
Well, you would hope, but it's difficult. It's hard. Haven't seen much, but we hope to see more.
You said it seemed easy. Those sound like famous last words. How difficult is the work? How difficult is it to get the acceptance of the community that you're trying to help?
Well, honestly, that's just day to day. You never know if you're going to be accepted or not. Someday you go in and somebody is not going to be in a good space, and they're going to shout and yell at you, and you have to be okay with that and step away and know that it's not personal, that they're just having a bad day.
Right.
It's rough.
I'm thinking that people may end up going to encampments to places that are even more isolated than where they are living now. So, getting away from the man, getting away from the enforcement, getting away from all the potential bad things that may happen
Yeah.
because they're seen as not desirable in society.
That's true, but that has another ill effect, that if they are, again, far away and there's no one around them, let's say, if they're using substances, they don't know what's in their substances, and if no one's around them and something, God forbid, something happens, you don't know, right? And people can't reach them.
And then you're away from the help that you might need.
Yeah.
I can see that. So how did concerned people on drug use get involved with the Civic Hub?
So Civic Hub actually hosts a lot of these groups. They're very generous with their space, and they let people that are trying to do good in the community use their space for no charge. So yeah, or we get to meet there and plan our actions.
And get some of their online website help.
That is true. Yeah,
the podcast, for example.
Exactly, and their platforms. Exactly. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the groups, like Luke, for example, comes out
Correct.
of the Civic Hub and the Social Development Center
That
as well.
is true. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's the Continuum of Care. They meet there fairly regularly, and yeah. So the Civic Hub is very involved with the community, and they do great work.
Right. And have you met other, aside from Luke, have you met other groups that you've been able to pull in from to get further assistance to further your goals?
Well, I meet other groups, yes. So there's this new thing that the region has started called the Constellations, I believe. It's more work towards the plan to end chronic homelessness, and so we have kind of started visiting those, attending those meetings. So the plan is out of those groups. So it's a really large group. I believe like one of those meetings there were around like 90 people in the group, in the room. So it was just lots of players from the region that are working in the sector, trying to pool their resources. And well, the idea is to end chronic homelessness, and to try to make sure that all of these people that are good players can collaborate and come together and work towards that common goal.
So that's a regional initiative, Region of Waterloo.
I believe so, yes.
Because the city of Kitchener itself, I think, or maybe it's the other way around, has just enacted this bylaw to, again, make the encampments illegal. Just worsening the situation that already exists.
Yeah, I think it was the region that did the bylaw.
Okay. Yeah, because they want the space for the regional transit sector. So very likely it's a regional initiative there. So you've got the region within itself, pulling at its own efforts to resolve the problem. No, not funny. This is sad.
Ironic, I should say. Yeah.
Ironic, yes. Absolutely ironic. So, how do you deal with that kind of situation? Is it just better to go off and do your own thing and ignore the conflict that exists at the higher government levels?
Well, what we intend to do, what we always do, is highlight those conflicts. Is like try to show them that, try to put a mirror in front of them and like, guys, like what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to work towards the same goal. Like let's work together. But it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's very hard to get through to people when they're working with their own sets of ideas, thoughts, and parameters, and they need to work towards certain targets or goals. And so it's just hard to get through to people sometimes.
Yeah. It's a new group. You said you haven't got a website yet. Maybe a page on the Civic Hub website is soon to come. So if people need assistance. If people are finding themselves in a place where they want to get some help but don't want to approach the official sources, how can they get a hold of people on concerned people on drug use?
Yeah, that's a good question. I believe the Civic Hub has a phone number that we can share. That if individuals are in crisis and that need like help, that don't want to go to like the official sources, I'm sure there might be we might be able to pull some resources.
That phone number is 519-579-3800, and then option 3 on the menu there is for the Civic Hub.
Okay, there we go.
Get a hold of that way. Could also email civichub@waterlooregion.org. That's the Civic Hub email address at the Social Development Center. And then you'll get a hold of Ritika, who will be able to direct you to Mauleek, who can provide you with help and assistance if you're finding yourself in the need of that. What about the other side? People who want to help out, people who want to join you in the quest to relieve the issues behind drug use.
Yeah, well, so there's plenty of groups. There's lots of action happening in the region. Come support us. There's concerned people on drug use. There's the Waterloo Region Integrated Drug Strategy. There's a lot of groups. There's a lot of us. So come support. Come to our meetings. We usually try to do some light refreshments if possible. And yeah, we chat, and then we plan, and then we do stuff every once in a month, once in 2 months, depending on capacities and things like that. So yeah.
Is there a meeting planned in the near future?
We usually meet on Fridays, but I would say this Friday 6 p.m. at the Civic Hub.
Okay, Civic Hub is at 23 Water Street, but go into the entrance on Duke Street, press the buzzer on the side of the door there, and somebody will pop up to let you in. Say hi to Mauleek and have him help you out with, well, whatever it is that you need help with if you're a concerned person on drug use. Mauleek, thank you very much for coming in, chatting with me for, well, it's been half an hour already.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Civic Hub.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Welcome to the Civic Hub, where we welcome community partners to the Civic Hub. The Civic Hub is online at civichubwr.org. You can reach the Civic Hub by email at civichub@waterlooregion.org. Welcome to the Civic Hub is produced at the studios of CKMS-FM 102.7 Radio Waterloo. The show is sponsored by the Social Development Center of Waterloo Region. The executive producer is Alexander Petrovich. Ritika Sharmali is the producer and host, and I'm Bob Jonkman. Civic Hub is supported by the Region of Waterloo Upstream Fund, and the theme music is A Good Bass by Kumiku from the Free Music Archive and used under a Creative Commons CC0 license.